When the heavens and earth were still young, and the stars barely a flicker in the endless night, there existed a great celestial court. This was no ordinary assembly, for within it gathered the eternal gods, deities who ruled over the forces of light and shadow, fire and storm, wisdom and love. The gods and goddesses resided beyond the reach of mortal eyes, seated upon towering thrones made of elements both seen and unseen. And each god possessed dominion over a realm that colored and shaped the world below. From the blinding luminescence of Solaris, the sun god who painted each dawn in hues of gold, to the calm and contemplative Lunara, the goddess of the moon, whose silver glow whispered secrets to the dreamers of earth. These divine beings presided over life itself. With them stood Tyr, god of justice and battle, and Mercuriel, the winged deity of wisdom and swift thought. Beside them were Thorin, the Thunder Lord who commanded the storms, and Venara, the goddess of love and beauty whose touch bloomed life across the land. Finally, there was Saturn, ancient keeper of time and harvest, whose gaze saw all things born and all things ended. For eons these gods coexisted in cosmic harmony, each bound to their domain, but rarely crossing paths, save for grand celestial events. But as the mortal world grew, it became clear that the humans of Earth, fragile, flawed, yet filled with boundless potential, lacked guidance in their lives. They wandered in chaos, moving without rhythm, trapped in eternal days and nights that blurred without distinction. Seeing this, Solaris, ever the bold, called forth a gathering. His voice echoed through the heavens, summoning his fellow deities to a summit. "It is time," he proclaimed, his words like rays piercing through the void, "that we bestow upon the mortals a gift to guide them through their days. Let us bring order where there is none, structure where there is chaos." Intrigued by this proposal, the other gods gathered within the great celestial hall, an ethereal space woven from the finest stardust, shimmering with the colors of the cosmos. They took their places upon crystalline thrones, their forms a blend of light, shadow, and the very essence of their domains. Yet, as Solaris spoke of his vision, dissent brewed among them. "Why should it be you, O sun, to speak first?" asked Lunara with a voice as soft as moonlight, but as cold as distant stars. "What gift could you give that does not blind or burn?" "I give warmth, I give life," Solaris replied, his voice steady but his gaze smoldering. "Without me, the earth would remain cold and barren. I propose that I guide the mortals with the first day, so that each week begins in my light." But as Solaris's words lingered, other voices rose to challenge him. Tyr, armored and resolute, declared, "Let mortals begin their days with courage, for it is bravery that shall see them through each trial. If you would have the first day, then I would have the second." And thus the debate began, each god laying claim to a day, each presenting reasons why their influence was most essential for humanity's survival and prosperity. For hours, their voices rose and fell, echoing across the heavens, and the stars themselves seemed to pulse in time with the deity's passions. Mercurial, known for his swift wit, raised a hand to silence the assembly. "Let us each take one day," he proposed with a sly smile, "and let each day embody the spirit of its patron god. In this way, humanity will learn all they need to know to flourish: strength, wisdom, beauty, courage, discipline, and the rest. Together, our days shall make a week, a cycle that will teach them balance." The gods considered this carefully, and slowly, each nodded in agreement, acknowledging the wisdom of Mercurial's words. For what was time, they thought, but a divine cycle, a circle of lessons, of hardships and joys to be lived over and over. But what they did not foresee, what even the gods could not know, was that this decision would forever shape the lives and souls of mortals. The days would come to carry more than mere names. They would bear the essence of the divine, and with it, both blessings and burdens that would guide, challenge, and sometimes haunt humankind through the ages to come. And so the council continued, as each god prepared to leave a piece of themselves in the world below, to be remembered and revered for eternity. In the realm of the celestial court, a magnificent council floated amid the cosmos, beyond mortal eyes and imagination. Here, powerful gods gathered in splendid thrones of light and shadow, iron and mist. Each deity was tied to a fundamental force of existence, and each believed themselves to be essential for the survival of the world. The mortals below lived in chaos, their lives a string of aimless, endless days. No one could tell if it was time to plant crops or throw a feast, to prepare for battle, or sit in quiet contemplation. Seeing this confusion, the sun god Solaris called his fellow gods to a grand meeting. Solaris spoke first, which came as no surprise to anyone. "It's time we grant the mortals some order," he proclaimed, his voice warm and bright. "If they're ever to reach their potential, they need structure, a pattern, a rhythm. Let's give them days, and of course, the first should be dedicated to me." This pronouncement received mixed reactions. Thoron, god of thunder and strength, let out a booming laugh. "Why you, Solaris? Just because you're shiny doesn't mean you're first in line. A good week needs a strong start, with a bit of thunder to wake everyone up." Solaris's golden glow flickered, as though clouds had passed over him. He turned his burning gaze toward Thoron. "Wake them up? And have them hiding under beds? The first day should bring light, warmth, and life, qualities you, Thoron, bring only accidentally." At this, Lunara, goddess of the moon, interjected with a sigh as soft as starlight. "If we're all fighting for the first day, I nominate myself. The moon brings a calming presence. Mortals should begin with reflection and peace." Mercurial chuckled, his voice a silky blend of mischief and wisdom. "Peace? Are we discussing mortals or someone else? Mortals need the gift of wit, lest they blunder through their new week like bulls in a temple. My day should be first, to ensure they start with a touch of cleverness." The arguments grew louder, and the stars overhead quivered with the gods' passion. Each god put forth a case as compelling as the last, and it seemed they would quarrel forever, until Mercurial, ever the pragmatist, held up a hand. "Why don't we each take a day? Let each god have one day to instill their gifts, virtues, and yes, even their quirks into mortals." The gods paused, considering this. Mercurial continued, "I mean, we're powerful enough to share, aren't we?" Tyr, god of justice, solemnly nodded. "I see wisdom in Mercurial's words. Let each day reflect a unique power, so mortals may live balanced lives, facing the week with courage, wit, strength, and heart." And so, after much celestial negotiation, the deities agreed on a plan that would shape the world forever. They assigned each day to a god, filling the mortal week with a blend of humor, challenge, rest, and insight. The first day of the week was awarded to Solaris, on the condition that he would refrain from hogging the spotlight for the rest of the week. Thus, Sunday became a day of light, warmth, and renewal. Solaris took his responsibility very seriously. Each Sunday, he rose with full force, bathing the earth in golden light. Mortals were encouraged to start their week in celebration, basking in the sun's rays and filling themselves with hope. Sunday became a day of feasting and laughter, a time for life, leisure, and grand plans for the future. As Solaris explained, Sunday is for shining, a day to gather strength and be inspired. Mortals should feel alive and radiant. Thus, Sunday became the day when people would relax, rejuvenate, and gather their spirits, making promises they hoped they'd remember come Monday. Monday followed, marked by Lunara's calming influence. After Solaris's enthusiastic start, Lunara thought mortals could use a quiet, introspective day to balance out the week. Lunara granted her day a soft, silvery glow, a day to slow down and gather one's thoughts. Monday became a day for reflection, dreams, and quietly tending to the soul. Lunara's wisdom taught mortals to look inward, to assess their emotions, and face their deeper selves. Monday, Lunara whispered, shall be for finding calm within the bustle. Mortals must remember their dreams and the magic within quiet moments. Despite her well-intended efforts, Monday quickly became known as a bit of a struggle. Mortals emerged from the brightness of Sunday only to face their own thoughts, often a daunting task. Yet over time developed a reputation as a necessary start, a day for grounding before the challenges ahead. With reflection over, it was time to summon courage, and Tuesday belonged to Tyr, god of justice and battle. Tyr saw Tuesday as a day for action, for mortals to face their fears, pursue justice, and stand strong. Mortals soon knew Tuesday as the day to tackle tasks, take on challenges, and approach their work with the fierceness of Tyr himself. Tyr's day encouraged discipline, and he granted strength to those willing to fight for what was right. As Tyr declared, Tuesday is for courage. Mortals must be fearless, unyielding, and just. Their challenges will not overcome them if they stand firm. With Tuesday, mortals faced their week boldly, prepared to take on the hardest tasks with grit. But it was Mercurial who smiled and muttered, "I hope they have some wits left after Tuesday." Next came Wednesday, Mercurial's day, a midweek moment to think, adapt, and consider strategy. Mortals were encouraged to pause, reflect, and find clever solutions to their challenges. Mercurial gifted Wednesday with a sense of movement and possibility. Mortals used this day to communicate, negotiate, and learn. They were encouraged to be clever, to think on their feet, and to explore the hidden meanings in everyday life. Wednesday is the day of wit, Mercurial grinned. Mortals should keep their minds sharp and their tongues even sharper. In time, Wednesday became known as the Hump Day, a day to gather one's wits and see the week through. With wit established, it was time to bring out the big hammer. Thursday belonged to Thoron, god of strength, protection, and thunder. Thoron decided that Thursday would be a day of powerful energy, a time for mortals to strengthen their communities and protect what they held dear. On Thursdays, mortals felt a renewed strength, finding themselves invigorated and ready to defend their families and communities. Thunder cracked, rain fell, and the earth felt Thoron's influence as he inspired strength and bravery. Thursday shall be a day of thunder, Thoron boomed, his laughter echoing across the heavens. Mortals should stand together, unified in strength and resilience. Thoron's day brought a sense of unity, a time to share meals and stories, and to celebrate the power found in togetherness. With strength fortified, Friday brought an entirely different energy. Governed by Venara, the goddess of love and beauty, her day was filled with warmth, laughter, and affection. Friday was a day for mortal hearts, a time to connect, celebrate, and enjoy the beauty of life. Friday is for the heart, Venara declared with a soft smile. Mortals should cherish one another, indulge in beauty, and find joy in every small thing. Friday quickly became the most cherished day, as mortals embraced love, friendship, and the arts. Psalms, dances, and celebrations were woven into every Friday, a day for love's light to shine freely. Finally, Saturday came, governed by the ancient god Saturn. Saturn, wise and measured, believed Saturday should be a day of rest, reflection, and preparation. Mortals would use this time to reflect on their week and gather their strength for the new cycle. Saturday was a day for quiet work, for tending to fields, preparing for winter, and contemplating the passage of time. Saturn's day gave mortals a chance to pause and find peace, knowing that each cycle brought growth. Saturday is for patience and reflection, Saturn said softly, his voice like autumn leaves. Mortals must harvest what they've sown and ready themselves for what lies ahead. And so, Saturday became a day of quiet gratitude, a time for tending to family and home before the week renewed. And thus, the gods' arrangement filled the week with a divine rhythm, a balanced cycle of reflection, courage, wisdom, strength, love, and rest. From that moment on, mortals lived their lives by the days, knowing that each brought a new purpose, a new gift. In time, these days became tradition, woven so deeply into mortal life that they forgot the divine hand behind them. But if ever they wondered why Mondays felt so reflective, or why Fridays brought laughter, the stars would twinkle, and the gods would smile, content with the rhythm they had gifted to the world.